Hi, it's Sunshine, and today I'm going to be talking about what I want to see more in fashion. Okay, like this is more of like a what I want to see. Like, of course, it's opinionated, it's catered to me, Sunshine, as to what I want to see more. Okay, so let's just get straight into the video. First things first, the state of fashion. Honestly, I'm not mad at it. I think fashion is doing pretty well. I think that we're definitely honoring that space of experimentation. I feel like a lot of people, well, maybe not a lot, but definitely a handful of people are being more welcoming and accepting to experimenting with fashion and experimenting with looks and layering and even textures, and especially layering, right? And pairing different like textures and different patterns of clothing and garments and accessories, which I feel like it makes fashion more fun. It makes fashion more like, ooh, like I really want to experiment, instead of it having to be like that cookie cutter, like, okay, well, since I'm wearing kind of like what I'm doing low key, a little bit like what you see with like my this mid shot of me. You see you got the black and then the white to kind of break it up, and the white's even matching the background. But we're seeing looks that are kind of deviating away from that. We're seeing people wearing cheetah print with leopard, right? Or stripes with plaid, right? And being able to match different patterns together and being able to create a whole different look. Being able to match different patterns together. Oh, Jesus Christ! Why is it that when you're trying to film being able to match different patterns and being able to create a whole nice look from that? Off bat, the thing I really want to see more in fashion is glittery and shiny garments and accessories. I mean, let's bring back the shine, bitches. Let's bring back the shine. Let's like shine the light in people's face. You wear something that's glistening, kind of like my eyelashes. You see how but if and proper lighting, it's gonna like cling cling, like it's gonna shine a light. So let's bring back shiny, or maybe not bring back because it hasn't gone anywhere, but I want to see more of shiny and glittery garments and accessories. Like, I really want to see more of that. I want things that stand out, that bling bling. Like, let's be flashy with fashion. Like, there's nothing wrong with standing out, popping out, being all that, looking all good. Like, and I feel like shiny garments and accessories really accentuate a look. And it's like, you don't have to go like all the way hours, like every single thing you're wearing is shiny, but it could just be like that one little thing, like just that one little thing. Kind of like take my this for example, like my top for example, like it has a little shine to it. It does, like it has a little glare, more so of a glare, but it still gives that shine effect, right? So it adds like a razzle, it adds like a zest, it adds like, ooh, like it adds like a layering to the look. Instead of it just being flat, okay, it's just black, but it adds like another layer. And I feel like shiny garments, shiny accessories, it definitely like helps like by 3 points up when it comes to your garments, because it's such an easy add. It's such an easy, like, you really don't, it could be like the most simplest basic shirt that you're wearing, but because it's like shiny or glittery, it just adds more attention. It adds more like it just adds more, okay? It just adds more, and it makes it look the fuck good. Fur, okay? Fur. I really want to see more fur garments. I feel like I've been seeing it a little bit more. So when I was watching like the Thierry Mugler 1995 fall winter fashion show, I was like, there was so much fur in the garments. I was just like, yes. And that's not even what made me think of like, oh, I want to see more fur garments. No, like, even prior to, because I watched that show literally last night, but prior to me even seeing that, I'm like, I myself have been seeing like fur garments, like just finding like fur, like garments that have like fur on it, in the house. And I'm just like, this is really cute. And I feel like it just makes it's a very bougie, like it's very bougie. Like fur is such a bougie texture, okay? It's a very bougie texture. Like it just gives like, bitch, don't try me, bitch, don't test me, okay? Fur is just like, she's that girl. She is that girl when it comes to textures. And I definitely think that fur is such like a nice garment to accentuate your look. You can have like, let's say you're wearing a dress and you add like a fur coat over it. It just makes you look luxurious. Or even if like you're trying to be playful with it too, like be experimental with it, I'm pretty sure you can try to, like, you could, like, let's say you're wearing like, oh, activewear, right? But you're like, bitch, I'm trying to be bougie, like bougie activewear, right? And you just put like even like a fur head wrap on. You can make it work, I promise you. And that's the thing with fashion, is like you have to be very intentional. You have to be very, 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 very intentional, because the thing with fashion is like, I feel like a lot of people, especially people that are really into fashion, we're afraid of looking stupid. We're afraid of making the mistake of looking like, bitch, what the fuck is you wearing? Rightfully so, because it's like, you don't want to go outside looking like a damn fool, right? But you are going to have to take that risk. You're going to have to take that risk. You're going to have to take that risk of looking fucking stupid. And that's something I really appreciate about like living in New York City, is that people, not everybody, right, but there definitely is that community of people who, like, they're not afraid to take that fashion risk. They're not afraid to experiment. They're not afraid to be off the wall. They're not afraid to have a fashion miss, when really it may not even be a fashion miss, because you may look back and you be like, oh wait, this outfit actually looked the fuck good. But I feel like compared to like some other places where it's like a bit more kind of like conservative, or a bit more like, oh, you know, everyone has to look the same, everybody has to dress the same, or, you know, we have to have that kind of like polished look. And with fashion, you can still look polished, but you can still be very experimental. You can still be edgy. You can still, like, you know, go, you know, you could just be able to play around with, again, like I said, textures and layering. Which also kind of brings me to my next point of, I'm interested to see, like, I'm not too pressed to see this, but I am interested to see reverse layering. So instead of it being like you're wearing a tank top and then a blouse, I always reference blouses. I feel like that's just the easiest garment that just pops in my head, a blouse. Not even like a button-up shirt or a sweater. I always say blouse, but anyways, a tank top and then a blouse, maybe like a blouse and a tank top, okay? And I feel like that was such a really popular thing, especially in the early 2000s, where we did like, where people did the reverse layering. So things that would typically be beneath a garment ended up being worn on top. So I feel like that would be such an interesting thing to see, you know, being able to see like that reverse layering, kind of like, and again, attention matters, because to someone who isn't really into, like, you know, of course, expanding their mindset and having like an open mind, it may look stupid, but if you do it correctly, it's gonna look good. It's gonna turn out looking good. So like, even something like socks over heels, or maybe not socks over heels, but like socks over sneakers, like, I'm pretty sure there's a way that we can figure that out, okay? Where it can look good, it can look innovative, it can look cool. So seeing like reverse, like the inverse, the reversal of garments, things that typically would be worn like on the bottom, or like even like, let's say, underwear, boxers, right? Something like that, right? That would just be really interesting. Again, I'm not pressed to see it, but that would definitely be an interesting thing to see, okay? I might be a little biased because, you know, I am currently wearing it, but also too, I hope the lighting isn't bad. Hold on. Okay, I just turned on one of the lights. Y'all, I'm filming this on my MacBook, okay? So I know I am filming this. Ooh. I am filming this on my MacBook, okay? So give me grace. The quality is not the best. It's really not. I know. Filming this on my MacBook. I know, but when I get a camera, trust and believe me, the quality will go up, okay? But what I'm saying makes up for the camera quality. So listen. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh yes, chokers. I want to see more chokers. Like, I don't want it to be nauseating, like kind of like back in like what, 2014, 15, where people were just so pressed to bring back the 90s aesthetic, and then also Tumblr, trying to, you know, that whole Tumblr off-brand emo vibe. No, not in like a nauseating way, but definitely kind of like what I'm wearing now, like in a more like fun, more in your face type of way. Like, I definitely want to see more chokers or tight necklaces, or even like layerings of necklaces. Like, I just think like playing with the neck would be really, really fun to see in fashion. So many different ways that we can play with the neck. Like, there's so many different ways we can play with the neck, right? Like, we can have like there's like, I'm trying to figure out how to describe it, but there's like chokers where it's kind of like mesh. It kind of looks like a fence, low-key, like the patterning of the choker. I don't even know what I'm saying, but there are so many different ways that we can play with chokers. I'm just gonna move forward because I don't even know what the hell I was going with that. Leather. I want to see more leather. Okay, more leather. And it doesn't only have to be during the winter time, even though wintertime and leather are like, because you know, yes, but I also want to see leather like all year round, like leather boots, leather purses, shit, a leather scarf. Like, leather, I feel like leather is such a fun texture to also play with. And also like gator leather is like really interesting. I've been seeing it more and more, and I feel like it's just such an interesting like pattern, an interesting texture to look at, right? We got a leather and that gator like print into one, and I feel like it makes whether it's a garment, an accessory, it makes it very like compelling to look at. You are kind of compelled to look at it because I mean, it's leather and then it's like gator texture, so you're just like, interesting. But yeah, I feel like it definitely does draw attention. So I feel like seeing more leather and gator, more leather, what, seeing leather that has the texture or the pattern of like gator, right, would be really fun. I feel like there's just so many different ways that we can style it, and it's like, it's very exotic. It's a very exotic pattern, it's a very exotic texture. So it's something that you can like wear it as like a skirt, and then you can even wear the most simplest top, because that skirt that has the texture of leather and the pattern of a gator, right, gator skin, it already is like magnetic to the eye. And then you can like pair that with like, you know, maybe some leather boots and maybe even like a fur scarf. Crochet and knitwear is so fun. We definitely do see it. We're seeing it more and more in mainstream, and more artists are emerging, like making their entryway into like the fashion world through knitwear and crochet wear, because I feel like it's the most easiest thing to like do. It's like the easiest way to make garments is either crochet or knit, right? So we're seeing a lot of knitwear and crochet wear, and I want to still see more of that. As a fellow crocheter, I think it's so fun, like especially like knitwear. The thing I appreciate about knitwear, I really want to get into knitting, is that it's so like, the details are so delicate and intricate. With crochet, you could definitely get that same effect, but I feel like sometimes with crochet it's a little bit more bulky compared to knit. It's like, it's more kind of like, it's more thinner, which, yeah, it's more thinner. Like, the garment isn't too bulky. With crochet, it's like it's too bulky, but of course it depends on the size of the yarn, the size of the needle, and then also too like the stitch, like how you're stitching it. But with knitting, I'm not a knitter. I don't know how to knit as of yet, but what I've noticed is like knit is like more fine, and that's something that I really like appreciate about knitwear. But either way, crochet, knit, both beautiful works of art, and I really love how crochet and knitwear like it gives like that very homey feeling, but of course if you do it like properly, it looks so good. Like it's like, oh my god, like especially with the colors too. Like I love like the very vibrant very strong colors, the very playful colors, and even colors that are more dull or muted. I think that because it's done through knit, it still looks good. It still looks good. There's definitely a lot that you can do with it, and especially given that it's like the texture, like it's knit or it's crochet, like the texture alone, it adds to the look. So you can definitely pair it with denim. You can pair it with you could pair it with leather as well, but I feel like denim is a very strong texture to pair with knitwear or crochet wear. And my last thing that I want to see more is, this is again on the texture side, is silk. I feel like more silk in the mainstream, more silk garments, more silky looks. I feel like silk is very fun, and silk is also like the lesser version of bougie. Like she knows she's that girl, but like she don't gotta do too much. Like she's kind of like the, what is it, round the way girl, the girl next door, round the way girl next door, whatever. She's like that, whereas like she's definitely gonna catch your eye for sure. And she doesn't have to do too much but just be herself. Silk doesn't have to only be like sleepover parties, or I'm just getting ready for bed, or I'm going to prom. I feel like silk can definitely be put into like the everyday wear, even casual. I feel like you can definitely style silk in more casual ways. You just have to, again, you have to be very intentional as to how you're styling it. But silk could be a very interesting texture to see like more of, and like what people can make of silk garments. I'm interested to hear what you guys want to see more of when it comes to fashion. What do you guys want to see? What do you guys want to see more in fashion? I shared all the things that, well, maybe not all, but I definitely shared a few things that I'm really interested in seeing, and maybe I'll make a part 2, maybe, I don't know, but I definitely am interested to know what you guys want to see more in fashion, or what do you guys don't want to see in fashion. Like, what are you tired of seeing? What are you tired of seeing? Maybe I should do a video on that, what I am tired of seeing in fashion. Okay, but in the meantime, make sure to always stay fly, never let your fits be dry, and always be fierce. Okay, you will definitely be seeing more of me. I look so fucking good. Like, I'm just bitch, I look the fuck good. I look the fuck good. I look the fuck good. Okay. Like, model agencies, hello, let's get it together. Let's get it together, and let's put me on some shoots. Like, give me some campaigns, let me be on some runways, let me model, let me be like, bitch, look at all this talent, look at all this, look at all of 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 this. Like, hello. So, and trust and believe me, it is not going to waste. So let's not get it twisted. It's most definitely not going to waste. But, bitch, we can go farther. Okay. So, yeah, like, I really live. I really fucking live. I really fucking live. Like, model agencies, y'all know where to find me. Y'all know where to find me. It's really giving.